Odds of unification church disband order hinge on enough evidence. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has called for a probe that could lead to the submission of a dissolution order to the unification church, but it will depend on whether enough evidence can be gathered to strip the organization of its status as a religious corporation. While a probe into the church will be implemented under a provision of the Religious Corporations Law, which allows authorities the right to question religious organizations, there has been no precedent set for such questioning, and the government has not hammered out the details on how to proceed with the investigation. The Unification Church, now formally known as the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification, has been under the spotlight after former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was fatally shot during an election speech in early July. Abe's attacker, Tetsuya Yamagami, has said he held a grudge against the group because his family was left in financial ruin after his mother made considerable donations to the church. The Unification Church has been criticized mainly for its mass weddings and spiritual sales, in which it pressures people to buy jars and other items for exorbitant prices via the use of threats, such as invoking negative ancestral karma. Depending on the outcome of the investigation and a court judgment, the Unification Church could lose its status as a religious corporation and be deprived of tax benefits, although it can still operate in Japan as an entity. The law stipulates that a court can order a religious organization to disband if it is deemed to have violated laws and damaged public welfare or has taken action that is considered a deviation from practices considered normal religious activity. So far, only 2 religious organizations have received a dissolution order from a court because of legal violations in Japan. One was the Aum Shinrikyo cult, which carried out a deadly sarin gas attack on the Tokyo subway system in 1995. The other was the Myokakuji Temple Group based in Wakayama Prefecture. Its priests defrauded people who sought help by telling them they were possessed by evil spirits before charging them for exorcisms. But on those occasions, the government did not question members of the 2 religious organizations, as the practice only became law in the wake of the Aum Shinrikyo attack, whereas evidence in the Myokakuji case was already available in the criminal trial, according to an official of the Cultural Affairs Agency. But with relevant authorities lacking the authority of an investigative agency and with such a method not tried before, it is unclear to what extent the Unification Church will cooperate in the probe. The Religious Affairs Division of the Cultural Affairs Agency, which has been tasked with seeing the investigation, also has limited staff. It is impossible to see how things will develop, said a senior official of the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology. The agency will hold an expert panel meeting next Tuesday to devise standards for exercising the right to question. Hajime Tajika, a professor of constitutional law at Kindai University and an expert on religious corporation law, said that careful consideration will be required so that freedom of religion is not violated. Officials will need to tread carefully when inquiring about the Unification Church's recruiting methods, Tajika said, adding that the church may object to certain lines of questioning. And even if a request for a dissolution order is made, the court has the final say. This podcast is created by Kronos Worldwide Productions.